Hi, a very big welcome to everyone. You're watching the first episode of the You'll Never Walk Alone show with me, Prasad. So since it's lockdown down in Malaysia and literally all of us are bored, so we thought of doing a video podcast on the most beautiful game in the world, which is football. Okay, so this show is only for passionate fans. Okay, it's actually catered to discuss on the latest happening on football. So today, since it's our first show, we will only speak mainly about Liverpool and the Premier League. Okay. So for today's show, we have our two gentlemen here, and two passionate football fan, loyal supporters of Liverpool. Okay, they are also our panelists today. So I'd like to introduce our first panelist, Mr. Param.
Hi.
Hi. So you just want to say something about yourself?
Well, I'm diehard fan of Liverpool since 1975, and till now I'm still supporting. Even though what's going on with Liverpool, ups and downs, I'm with them all the way. You now walk alone.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Param. And let's go to the second panelist. Also, a very big Liverpool fan, but he has I don't know, for some reason, big games he always misses. I remember that the second panelist, Mr. Guna, we actually watched the Istanbul final together, and he actually went and slept off after the halftime. And the next he woke up was when I was waking him up, telling that it was 3-3, and I believe he never slept since lah. So, Mr. Guna, something about yourself?
Hey, hi, hello everyone. Yeah, I mean, similar to Param, been a very staunch supporter of Liverpool. My whole family is. In fact, my family members, my relations, are all 99% all are Liverpool. Where I got this passion from, I think it was just brought forward by my elder brothers, and it just came in. It was there. Yeah, so I took them in, ever excited, never got bored, and I'm so happy that I'm with Liverpool all the way now.
All right, thank you. Okay, we'll just straight away dive into the questions for today. So let's start with a game that would be or should have been the biggest game of the season. Okay, this happened a few days ago. For me, I would reckon it was a boring, lame game. Players were no ambition. I mean, there were no ambitious. None of the players were ambitious to even score a goal. And I believe you guys are aware which game I'm talking about. I'm speaking about the Liverpool Manchester United game, which happened in Anfield a few days ago. So your thoughts on the game, please.
Yeah, well, Liverpool played well the first half, and it was played well, and they should have scored at least 2 to 3 goals, and they simply just missed the chance. And the second half, I don't know what happened. The Liverpool team, they didn't play what they played on the first half. It was just like 50 Liverpool percent, 50-50. So I think it's Liverpool's game that day. It's Liverpool's match. So they should have played, using, played harder, played like pushing, but they are, I don't know, they lack of something. But it's Liverpool's match, Liverpool's game.
But ironically, I believe this would have been never happened to any other clubs where we had two midfielders playing as a centre back on the day. We have Jordan Henderson and Fabinho. So there was, I don't know, some sort of crisis happening there. Probably Mr. Guna can elaborate more on that. The defensive.
Yeah,
crisis,
all of us know where we are lacking now. I mean, it is still a great miss that BBD is not there, and it has to be compensated by someone who's also influential, right? So both our midfielders are now moving back and trying to cover the center half of our from the back post itself, instead of doing the other way around. So where I see the game, where there was a little bit of compromise by the forwards itself. So we didn't have any commanding officer at that day. Right? If you look at Henderson, he's been fabulous last season. He was the commanding officer. Everybody respected him, and every time, even if there's if that whether it's Mane or whether it's Salah who misses goals, misses easy goals, right? He's there to tell them off and say, look, this should not be repeated, right? So it was almost all of our three forwards were playing. They were just missing shots where they were not supposed to, but it was more of we'll just get another one. So they were not being punished, not only from a commanding perspective. So I didn't see that. So I thought that piece was something that we could have done better if Anderson would have been in a higher position.
Okay, good thoughts. And I mean, just continuing to the question to probably Mr. Param now. I mean, eventually we're going to go to the next topic, which is Liverpool's form. What really happened to the champions? We really saw that they were like literally untouchable. Every attack was goal scoring opportunity, or even goals for Liverpool at one point of time. Now it's I feel that the whole team is jaded. I think they do not have a self-confidence when they attack or even defense or even they are passing around. The whole squad, it's something, I don't know what went wrong. But before I could ask the question, I'll just say a very incredible stat. People are talking about the Messi's, the Neymar, and also Suarez combination. So this Firmino, Mo Salah, and also Mane's combination was on that par at one point of time. But this stat might be shocking to you. The stat is these front three played 1,700 minutes together. Okay, they played 1,700 plus minutes together, and they only managed to score 2 goals. That is something which is extraordinary, unlike Liverpool, like what we saw for the past 2-3 years. And what really happened? What made their form plunge down to the ground?
Yeah, well, well, I can see there's a lot of players are injured. The main players like Van Dijk and other players, main players, So that made Klopp, to change a few players, and even though they're champion, but Van Dijk of the injuring, of the injured, he shouldn't be injured, So, but unlikely he's injured, and most of the other players forward are injured, and maybe that your second question, maybe that made Mane, maybe the way that they played last time is different, but now is totally different. Different people playing different side. Different position. And the way they think how to pass. So maybe that made the difference a lot. If we would have all the players, all the main players in the field, I'm sure we can get rid of all these small issues, not scoring goals.
Okay, speaking on that, that clearly shows that we don't have a very good backup team. Anyone goes down injured, and the whole squad literally collapse. That's what actually is an exemplary what's happening at Liverpool at the moment. It's something like that. Another one more thing I want to say. Okay, let's speak about Bobby Firmino. Quite few of them really adore him. They say he's the orchestra man, even though he's not scoring or even he's not playing any music instrument, but he's the main man who orchestrates things. Do you think that it's a tough question, and probably you might have some tough time to answer, but again, do we really need a proper striker, a proper number 9, a Ronaldo, a Brazil Ronaldo kind of a proper finisher in Liverpool instead of this orchestra man? Mr. Guna?
Yeah, I mean, for me, Firmino is never a 9. Yeah, I mean, if you looked at his goals, I think he played a more supporting role than getting the goals itself. So his first attempt is always to create opportunities. So if you put him there in the position currently now where he is, it's not going to be effective. I mean, it's going to be less effective for where he's really useful for. So that is why definitely we need a number 9. Right? And because of the current situation that we have, we're missing Jota, right? He has to be pushed in front now, right? So that all three hopefully may work. That we're still struggling. I wouldn't say that we're bad, but looking at the past 5 games, it didn't happen for a long time, right? There was no winning stake for the past five games, not mistaken, or 5 games, right? So that really shows that we need to move on. I know we're still giving excuses on Van Dijk is not there, Jota is not there now. But we need to just drop it and we just need to move on. And I do agree, we need to get 2. We need to find a replacement for a defender, and we need to get someone as a number 9. So that would actually, I believe, would fulfill the glory of how we used to play. So don't get me wrong, the quality of players are still there. It is just the way that we are just making up with these quality players, but they are not supposed to be playing at that right spot. That is basically making Liverpool team struggle.
Right. Good thoughts. So let's move on to the next question. I mean, related to, since we have a crisis of injuries and so on, let's move on to the next question, which is the January transfer potential. Okay, now I think it's already January and the transfer window is opened. So let me just talk you through some of the players that is linked to us, to Liverpool. One is Kylian Mbappe. This really excites everyone, every Liverpool people, Liverpool fans and even players. In fact, it really excites. But we're not really sure whether it's going to happen in January or towards the summer. Okay, and Wijnaldum is definitely leaving towards the end of the season, likely to Barcelona, the team that he actually demolished the other day at Anfield, if you remember, in the Champions League. And Adrian, okay, not a surprise, he's leaving already, the keeper. And Origi, likely January, he'll be moving to Inter Milan. And speaking about defenders that Mr. Guna just said, we need to get some defenders. I'm not really sure it's a good news or so, but we have been linked to a defender, an Arsenal defender, by the name of Socrates. Okay, I don't know whether it's a good buy or so, but we have been strongly linked to him. So probably you can give your thoughts in a while. And the last one, which might be a saddening one, Mo Salah, okay, is continually linked to Real Madrid and Barcelona. Okay, I don't know. It really happens to Liverpool. It happens even Ian Rush before, all right, back in your times, I believe, and he went to Juventus and came back. Michael Owen, okay. I mean, speaking about him really gets me very angry because anywhere but Manchester United. All right, anywhere you should have went anywhere, even Selangor FC, but not at Manchester United. Yeah, he went off, and Torres, and also recently Suarez. It happens. We have the best strikers, prolific goal scorers, but ended up they go to a bigger club. I don't really sure whether Real Madrid is bigger than Liverpool. Definitely not. But I don't know why. Why can't we content our players to stay in Liverpool? And so that's one of the topic, and also the other things. Thoughts on the January transfer targets?
Well, yeah, I mean, players will just move. I mean, the players come and go in. I mean, so we can't stop them, because they want to improve. They want to, go and show to the world, what he can do, So, I mean, Liverpool, they can't keep them if they want to go. So, like Mbappe, I think it's a good thing for him. If let's say Liverpool wants to buy him, I think it's goodbye. You know, if let's say if Salah wants to go to Real Madrid and Mbappe want to replace him, I think it's a good. You know, I think it's goodbye, and that's what I think. Like Kuna saying that we have to get defenders. That's for sure. That
Socrates, is that your solution? Socrates,
yeah,
from Arsenal.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. It's a good thing. You know, it's a good buy. You know, if Liverpool really wants to, get good defenders, I think Socrates is I'll choose for him. I'll go for him. We can't depend on one guy, and and forward and midfielders. We need to look for that. No, I think Klopp, is doing a good job, and I'm sure he knows, who the players to get into Liverpool, to maintain our, spot, and keep on winning trophies.
Yeah, I agree to what Mr. Param said, because we don't know who was Mane, we didn't know who was Firmino, we didn't know who was Henderson. And even Robertson and all the stuff he brought in and make them a star. So probably we just hope that Socrates, if it's a real deal, then I hope that he's a hit at Liverpool as well. So Mr. Guna, just a quick one on your thoughts.
I mean, I definitely echo that. I mean, with Klopp's history of bringing in players which just turn them to be superstars. I'm on with any players. I mean, I've been even hearing about a defender from Juventus, Mere Demiro. So they have been also linked that Liverpool is trying to get him too. So I'm not sure, but for me, it's just get it fast. The more longer we wait, that's going to eat our points. Yeah, I mean, for me this year, I mean, I strongly believe. VVD itself has cost us 15 points.
Yes.
Right. Definitely. I mean, if you look at the stats, that's how much he's worth. So the longer that we wait to find a fix, rather than just trying some different formulas, I think with any players that Klopp brings in, I'm sure he has done he's got a team of good consultants around him to find the best players who fit into Liverpool itself. Yeah. About players leaving, that's even we have been Liverpool has been a team of establishing players to bigger clubs too, right? For mainly Real Madrid and Barcelona. Right?
Are we not the big club ourselves?
we are, but that's how we are, right? I mean, we've been mentioned as the best clubs to bring out the best of players. So for me, it's good as a testimonial of being a team, being as a club, and a great manager that we have. So players come in and go out, not an issue. And we've always been very, very supportive with that, and it's a player's choice anyway. So that's my thought.
Right. Thank you for that. Okay, let's move on to the next game. All right, Liverpool's next game, which is against Burnley. So let me just share you the table. Okay, the Premier League table at the moment. So as you know, today is 20th of January. Leicester City are the leaders of the Premier League with 38 points, and Liverpool sit at the 34 at the fourth position. And we are actually gonna face someone in the 17th position, which is on a Friday morning, 4 o'clock. So thoughts on your games, Mr. Parra?
Yeah, so Liverpool have to be careful on this, because the last few games they have drew to they drew two teams bottom, so they have to be careful with now, because the points they have to catch up with with all the the top teams and should not lose on all these, the teams which is easily for Liverpool to win. So they need to not lose points on these games. So I'm sure this game on Friday, I mean, that is on tomorrow night in London and Friday morning in Malaysia. I think Liverpool will win the game.
All right. So any predictions, score predictions?
Wow. I think it's 2-0, Liverpool 2.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Guna. Over to you.
No, definitely it's a Liverpool game, and I'm quite certain it's going to be at least a minimum of 3-0.
3-0. Wow, it's a good one. Okay. So wait, hold on. Go back to the screen. Okay. Just the last two. All right. The first one would be, what is your prediction for the whole season? Okay. Let's just talk through the top six. And also potential team that can be relegated this season.
Well, if you can go back to the table, then
okay.
maybe I can look at it and, but I'm sure.
Yep, it's the table. So the top six from Mr. Param.
Well, the top six will be Liverpool, top.
Champions, again.
Champions, yes.
All right.
Leicester City.
Second, all right.
Man City.
All right.
Manchester United. Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe Chelsea.
Chelsea, wow, that's a very big surprise. Chelsea qualifying for 6. Don't you want your neighbours Everton to be on the top 6?
maybe, you wouldn't know. Maybe this is football,
right. Yeah. So bottom 3, a very big surprise. Sheffield United, who are literally going for Champions League last season, and they are playing very bad this season. So bottom 3 for you, Mr. Param.
Yeah, it will be Sheffield United. I'm not sure because they are getting the points. It's terrible down, and they're not playing very well. The second will be the second bottom will be West Brom. The third bottom will be, I think, will be Burnley.
Burnley. All right. Thank you, Mr. Param. Over to Mr. Guna.
Yeah, so I totally agree on the top 6. Well, definitely Liverpool will be there. It'll be a very close call between, anyone coming close to 70 over points. I think this year, anyone close to 75 or 76 points, I think they're going to get the cup. So, I don't think it's going to even touch more than 80. So that's my prediction. So Liverpool is going to be there, followed by a close call between Leicester and Man City. Man U, although they are getting there, but I think it's just a small, slow run now. I think they still have they will be behind Leicester. And the other two will be Spurs and Everton. I don't see Chelsea because their points are still far apart. It's going to be a struggle. So for me, I'm betting on Everton to creep up to the 6th position. And the bottom 3, Sheffield United is definitely there, and West Brom. But I'm looking at Fulham to kick back as they have been doing pretty well in the past, previous seasons and all. So I would think either Brighton or Burnley to also catch up to the bottom 3 actually.
Right, thank you. I think looking at what Mr. Guna said just now, I think this season is very competitive because you don't really have the 12th man in the stadium. I know for any club. So home and away games seem to be the same, and that I believe might be the cause why it is so competitive. Like I agree to what Mr. Guna said, that anyone gets 70, 80 points and they are definitely champions. That's how it looks like for this season. All right, so we are going towards the end of the show for the first episode. All right, so since you just started by saying that you guys are very big Liverpool supporters, just want to just share with us the best moment that you had as a Liverpool supporter, and also games that you have watched. I mean, the best game that you have watched, a Liverpool game, the best Liverpool game you have watched. Can you share with us?
Yeah, well, for me, the best game Liverpool match I saw was at the Istanbul, where they came back with 3-0. Where at that time I was in Laos, I was in Laos and was watching a game. The first half was 3-0, and I think, oh my God, they're not going to come back. It's very difficult, and I saw the Liverpool players they are just like losing hopes already. They cannot ready. But AC Milan, they said, oh, this is our game already. This is our game. When the second half, I was just, switching off and on TV and switching off and on. So I just left it on, and I was just going to take some drinks, Then I saw once the first goal, then the second goal, then the third goal. My goodness. Because that season, nobody would have come back with 3-0 nil. Never have happened. Never have happened before the Istanbul game. Never. So, but Liverpool did a history. The world history. They did it. It shows that you can come back.
I think the belief, the so-called hashtag or slogan, right, for Liverpool came on that day. Because
right.
on paper, that team in 2007 in Istanbul, literally, they were the worst ever finalists. The worst ever Champions League winner on the paper. You have a broken leg, Cisse. Remember on the season he had a broken leg. We have Milan Baros, no one knows him. We have Jimmy Traore, you guys remember? Okay, we have a right back called Steve Finnan who actually played for Fulham in the Division 1 a season ago. So these were Liverpool team who played on that final. And the other side, we had the so-called Galacticos of AC Milan, the best ever. We have Kaká, Andrei Shevchenko, we have Hernan Crespo, we have Maldini, Cafu, Dida. The world was there with Milan, and like what you say is unbelievable. All right, so I think that was it's what Mr. Param's best moment and best game that we have watched. Let's go over to Mr. Guna.
Yes, I mean, unforgettable moment is definitely, the best game that I've seen is that the same miracle of Istanbul was really on the penalties itself. It was just unforgettable. I just couldn't see it. I was actually watching with my one eye. So that was the moment when I knew that we won. When we, I think it was Gerrard who kicked the last penalty.
It was Shevchenko. It was AC Milan.
Sorry,
AC Milan.
AC Milan. Yeah. Gerrard was the fifth penalty taker, but he could not take because Dudek saved Shevchenko's penalty.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that one was just my moment of where I just, if I still remember, it was about more than 24 hours after that I couldn't sleep. I was all pumped up. I was like, I didn't sleep the whole night anyway, and straight went to work. Came back, didn't sleep. Just watching the game again, and just couldn't just. It was just unbelievable. It's just miracle. When people say miracle happens, this was a miracle. So I guess that was the best game that I've always watched. Best moment definitely is when I paid a visit to Anfield, walking down the tunnel where the players comes out. and to touch this Liverpool's emblem.
Yeah.
That was the moment of something that is unforgettable. It's something that I will always cherish. That I was there, I could feel the stadium, and my hand was there with touching the same place where every other Liverpool legends have been touching those emblems. So that was my unforgettable place.
All right, nice one. I believe Mr. Param also have visited Anfield before.
Yeah, I was there in 2008. 2008, I was there just after the season, just after the Premier League season. So I just went there, and it's like unbelievable. When they put the supporters, all the cheering sounds and everything. My goodness.
I think
goosebumps,
both of you people are actually fortunate because the passageway that you guys just mentioned is no more. There's another way of entering now. There's no more. It's closed actually.
Wow.
So it's very guys are very fortunate. So we are towards the end of the first episode